I remember we had this heated argument on Wale Scott's show about who was going to triumph between Real Madrid and Liverpool. And ever since we've not been able to really have a chat because I've just been like giving you, some bit of fresh air so that I won't rub it in too much. Because I remember on that day you were so so optimistic that the ball is going to favor Liverpool. That Liverpool they have everything to win the game and they should win the game. But you've forgotten the fact that logic doesn't really work with that Real Madrid team that won the last cup champion, the Champions League. It doesn't really work with them because I feel if logic works with that team, we saw the way they sent out PSG, and nobody saw that coming against Chelsea because Chelsea knocked them out last time out. That was a semi-final stage last season, and so everybody thought probably Chelsea was going to reenact what they did a season before, but they couldn't. And almighty Manchester City just still couldn't do that. So I guess it was already ordained that the title was going to Madrid.
Ladi, you choose to come up days after the Champions League finals and address me on international radio. Fair enough. Fair enough.
We're talking club football, Dele. We're talking club football.
Fair enough. Congratulations to Real Madrid and everyone who supports Real Madrid. Like I said to Ladi a few minutes ago, that the better team won on the day, but he said no, Dele, the better team didn't win on the day. The reason why I said the better team won on the day was, like you just said, it was preordained that Real Madrid would actually win that trophy. Liverpool had it all to play for that day. Things just didn't work out for them. And sadly, it's football. There's a winner, there's a loser. On the day, Real Madrid were the winners. So I'll let that slide. A new season is coming up very soon. We'll see who the better team is when the time comes.
Well, talking about new season, before we go into the show proper, talking about new season, we've seen some activities from some of these club side, most especially Liverpool. They've been busy in the transfer market, although they've not really brought in so many players, but they always go for one or two key players just to beef up where they feel there's some bit of deficiency in the squad. Then if you look at Man City, they've been busy. They've brought in Haaland, that young man that has been bagging in goals as if goal scoring is going out of fashion. So they've brought in Haaland. A lot of people believe that Arsenal ought to be busy right now, but they are not busy like they're supposed to. Now, how do you see next season playing out? Talking about the activities in the transfer market, and where do you think the pendulum will swing in the coming season?
As a fan, I would want the pendulum to swing the way of Liverpool. But to be honest, you can't take it away from the big boys. Man City, Chelsea, Liverpool, even Tottenham are beefing up their squad. That's the whole idea of the transfer market. You plug in the loopholes. Look for where your team is lacking or where your team has lacked over time and beef it up and see what happens the next season. Let me start with Tottenham, for instance. Tottenham have gotten the likes of Ivan Perisic. Ivan Perisic is a seasoned footballer. He can play anywhere on the left. This is a man who knows what winning tastes like. He knows what losing tastes like. So he's going to bring in his wealth of experience and assess what he can actually do on the field of play. Talking about Bissouma, it's rumored that he might be leaving Brighton to join Tottenham. Whether you like it or not, is one of the best central defensive midfielders or central midfielders in the English Premier League. You can't take it away from that lad.
Tottenham are in the market. He has joined Tottenham already.
He's joined already. Okay, Tottenham are not. They're not joking this season. Antonio Conte is trying to make a statement, and trust me, Tottenham. You write off Tottenham, you're writing them off at your own peril. Talk about Man City. You can't have acquired the services of Erling Haaland and not expect him to deliver. Any striker who plays in Man City will score. Now we're talking about a striker who is hungry, a striker who bangs in goals for club and country. Erling Haaland is like the X Factor who has joined Man City. Man City this coming season will be a force to reckon with. Let's talk about Liverpool. Mane is leaving. Nunes comes in. Nunes had 34 in 41 last season for Benfica. Relatively good striker, but let's not forget the fact that he doesn't have the English Premier League experience yet. It's a different ballgame. There are people who have come from Germany, there are people who have come from Portugal into the English Premier League, and they've realized that this league is a different ballgame. But you can't take away this boy's talent.
But don't forget that even Luis, the guy that came in from Porto last season.
Luis Diaz, yes.
He doesn't have any Premier League experience. He came in from Porto last season and he made a statement with Liverpool right from January. He joined Liverpool
Laddie,
in
not every
January and he made a
not
statement.
Laddie, not everybody is that lucky. I'm sure you know that. When Matija Caseman joined Chelsea, Matija Caseman had 105 goals in 120 appearances for PSV Eindhoven. He was one of the best strikers in the world back in the days. He joined Chelsea. What happened? It was a terrible, terrible experience. Romelu Lukaku tore up the Serie A the season before. He came to Chelsea. What happened? People say it's the interview he did, blah, blah, blah. Those are just mere excuses. Things just didn't work out for him. But what I'm trying to say is some have it good, some have it bad. We hope that they all have it good. But one thing I know is that the usual suspects are going to go head to head. Talking about Liverpool, Man City, Tottenham, and Chelsea. You see those four clubs? It's between those four clubs. As for Arsenal, most players, grade A players, will not join Arsenal because they all want to play in the Champions League rather. And whether you like it or not, a player who has tasted Champions League experience would not want to go and play in the Europa Cup, would not want to go and play in an ordinary cup competition. They all want to play in the Champions League. What's wrong with me this morning? Ericsson, for instance, who played for Brentford last season, is already talking about playing in the Champions League. That's a man who just came back from a near-death experience. A man who played what, half season. Yes, he played really well for Brentford, but he's already looking at the bigger picture. He wants to play the Champions League. That's what every player wants. That's every player's dream. So that's how it is basically. So if you ask me, next season is going to be between those four clubs I mentioned earlier. These players who are joining the English Premier League is a different experience for them. Everyone is looking forward to it. Most players say the only league they want to play in is the English Premier League. So welcome Helen Ireland, welcome Darwin Nunes, and welcome every other person who's coming through.
Now, do you think Erling Haaland can hit the ground running? We saw his performance from RB Salzburg, from Molde to Salzburg, then from Salzburg to Borussia Dortmund. He hit the ground running in all those two places. Now, do you think he can hit the ground running with Manchester City? Because we talked about some players coming in and not finding their feet from the very beginning. Do you think it was going to be one of those people that will come in and become a flop or will become a success?
A player who is almost perfect with his head, a player who is almost perfect with both feet, a player who is almost perfect with every part of his body as a striker will hit the ground running anywhere he goes to. I saw him play against Sweden a few days ago, Norway against Sweden in the UEFA Nations League. Exceptional. Exceptional. That boy, he doesn't know anything other than scoring. At Man City, as long as you have the likes of
Kevin De Bruyne.
Kevin De Bruyne behind you, Kevin De Bruyne behind you, Bernardo Silva behind you. I see no reason
That's
why you
right.
won't score. A Riyad Mahrez playing just next to you, right? I'm studying my league, but hey, that is a team that's just missing one thing. One thing. They won the league without a striker. Imagine that. And then
Yeah,
imagine
because
getting a striker in the fold of Haaland.
but we know
Haaland
that
will score goals.
Guardiola is one coach that doesn't really believe in having a top man. We saw that with Spain as well. For some years now, since the coming of Luis Enrique, he's not really had a top man in that Spanish national team. I don't know what is it with Spanish coaches are not believing in having a top man. And probably Guardiola has come to realize that right now he needs a top man to to put the ball into the back of the net. Probably that was why they went for Alan, or probably they just went for Alan because they want to make a statement.
Laddie, the job of a coach is to have a plan A, plan B, plan C. Last season, they had just one plan. Let's keep the ball and get as many goals as we can whenever the chance occurs. Would you say Man City were better when they had Aguero at his best or as they are now? Excuse me, if you ask me, it was when Aguero was up front. Aguero was scoring for fun. Aguero was scoring 2, 3, 4 goals, relative ease. Aguero was scoring 3 goals against the big boys, not even against the small boys. It was that serious. Man City were breaking every record there was to be broken in club football. That team should be fed. Erling Haaland, you ask me, he's going to make money, he's going to make a good name, and he's going to score goals for Manchester City. Like you said, Some coaches actually buy players to make a statement. They buy players to cripple other teams. Yes, I understand that. That also works in football. Football is mind games. Club football is mind games. That's the whole idea. I have to weaken my opposition so I'll be better. And whether you like it or
That's
not,
right.
like I said, Antonio Conte, anyone who writes off Tottenham this season, you're writing them off at your own peril. I read an interview that Son granted where he wasn't even nominated as the best player in the English Premier League, someone who finished as the highest goal scorer, joint highest goal scorer alongside Mohamed Salah. It's sad. He said a few things. He said, well, he blames himself, and his excuse was, I wish I had scored Mo Salah. I wish I wasn't a joint top scorer. I wish it was just me. So imagine a man with that mindset, what he's going to do next season, what the others are going to do next season. So the English Premier League, like every other league, is going to be very, very interesting next season. This summer transfer window, I tell you, we haven't seen anything yet. A whole lot of players are going to make moves. A whole lot of players. Let's look forward to it.